I'm going to be fair with you and say that 50% of what you just told me was bullshit.
On April 17, 2024, officers in Janesville, Wisconsin were dispatched to a possible deceased female off a local walking trail. At 12:46 p.m., a 911 caller reported finding what she first thought was a backpack near the Peace Trail off Afton Road and Hanover Road, until she got closer and realized it was a woman's body. When officers arrived, they found the victim kneeling against a tree near the riverbank, cold to the touch, with no signs of life. Detectives secured the area while the Rock County Medical Examiner documented the scene and collected the body. By the following day, investigators confirmed the woman was Kiersten Hansen, after Human Services reported she missed an appointment and her mother told officers she hadn't seen her since the night of April 16th. Detectives compared the victim's tattoos with Kiersten's social media photographs and confirmed the match. During that early stage of the investigation, Kiersten's mother mentioned one critical detail. The last person she believed Kiersten had been with was her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Logan Barclay. That information immediately shifted the direction of the case, giving detectives their first real lead. As questions mounted about Kiersten's final hours, investigators brought Logan in to hear his side of the story, which was captured in the following interview.
Hey, Logan, sorry about that. That took a little bit longer than I thought. This is one of my partners, Dan School.
I'm Dan. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. So, obviously, you were talking to Tom and a couple of the other guys. Kind of right now, our concern is people don't know. We're trying to figure out where she is, kind of what might have went down, and the conversations that we've had. We're just talking to people who might have talked to her. So we just kind of talked to her mom.
Right.
It sounds like she had a worker with the county.
Yes.
Okay. Who would that have been?
So she had a few people who worked directly with her, specifically about our child that was taken out of her custody by CPS.
Okay. What's your child's name? Okay, so that kind of makes sense. I'm starting to hear some names. So kind of something we have to do, and I'm sure you watch TV and you've seen it done 100 times, because we kind of gave you a ride down here. We just have to inform people of what their rights are and before we have a conversation with them, just so that you're aware of them, and we're just making sure we're doing everything the right way. So would you mind if I read you the Miranda form and understand we can just get that out of the way and we can have a conversation kind of going forward from there? Have you ever had this read to you at all?
I have not.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty standard form. Are you willing to sign the form?
I am.
Okay, are you willing to have a conversation with us here today?
I am.
Okay, understanding your rights, you're still willing to talk to us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. You get too wet in the rain, did you? No. It's been, a couple inches in the last day or so.
Oh, yeah.
He's a landscaper. He's tough. He's been working outside during all this stuff. Did you do snow removal in the winter, too?
Yes.
God, a rough winter for snow removal, huh? Did you get 1 day or 2 days off?
We got 1 week.
1 week of snow removal. Who do you work for? Okay. How many accounts do they have?
Total? I want to say around 24 for snow removal.
Okay. And how many employees do you have?
Ones that actually work through the winter?
Yeah.
6.
Okay. So you can clear 24 accounts pretty quick with 6 people.
Are
they big, like, commercial properties?
A couple of them. Most of them are like just local houses.
So you use shovels then, or like snowblowers mostly?
Depends on how big it gets. I prefer shovels, but if it gets to the point where I have to use a snowblower, yeah.
Shovels just faster?
Yeah. Normally, yeah. Because otherwise, you have to go through the hassle of getting out of the trailer, making sure it's got gas, running it, and it's mechanical, so issues, of course.
It always doesn't start. And, yeah. How long have you been working there?
Since last April.
Okay. So a year now total, or coming up?
A little over.
A little over a year.
I think we're on what is today?
Thursday. 18th.
18th.
Yeah.
So about a year and 6 days.
Okay. You like it there?
Most days.
Yeah.
The work's rough, but otherwise, yeah.
Do you stay busy when you're not landscaping? Do they have other things for you to do? Like, are you full time, or you just there's work?
So we are full time. Basically, everyone there is. We go in like it's a normal 9 to 5.
Sure.
Obviously, sometimes weather doesn't permit that, or we get sent home early because there's just nothing left that day that we can start that day.
Yeah.
Or nothing left for us to do at whatever. But for the most part, it's 7:30 to 3:30, and that's it.
Yeah. What did you do before?
So I was out of work for I want to say a year and a half. And then before that, I worked at Topper's Pizza.
Okay.
That's actually where I met Kiersten.
Oh, she worked at a pizza place? Okay. She works at one now?
No. Yes. She started at Domino's.
Okay. Yeah, I thought my mom, I just talked to Mom, and I thought she said she was working at Domino's, but.
Yeah.
So that's her second pizza place she's been at?
She was when I left, she was a shift lead at Topper's.
Okay. Why'd she leave there?
Management changes. I don't know if she just found a better opportunity somewhere else or not. I honestly never talked to her about it all that much.
Okay.
When I left, I kind of just ignored what happened there. She had a number of issues with some of the people there that might have also contributed to it. Nothing that ever got anywhere. It just she didn't like them. They didn't particularly care for her.
Gotcha. Personality conflicts can kind of boil over in tight spaces like that too.
Oh yeah, we got a few of them on our landscaping department.
Here's a secret. How old are you?
23.
23. So I'm a few years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
Every job I've ever had, you're going to have that problem. Mm-hmm. Personalities, people are what they are. The job may change. The problems don't typically change. People aren't all that different depending on where you go. But if you can be a guy that can just kind of put your head down and do your work, you'll kind of advance pretty far. So,
it's kind of the hope. Yeah.
You want to stay in landscaping, or do you got other things you want to do?
So I have no real plans. I've never been able to make up my mind about what I want to do with my life. That's kind of why I'm in this not so great situation I'm in. I got a kid and a job that pays $16 an hour. Not great.
Yeah.
Hours.
Others would say, I have a kid and I have a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably.
Those, I mean, depending on who you talk to, those are two life goals that somebody is looking to accomplish, and you've done that.
Yeah.
No matter what this world has done to you, no matter the hardships, you have a little boy. And that's cool, because that's a lifelong buddy right there, and a legacy you've started. No matter what happened, right? That's something to be proud of. Mm-hmm. So you sound like a responsible guy, right? Like you.
I try.
Yeah, I mean, so when your work schedule, you weren't working today, right? Because of the rain.
We did.
You did work today.
Yes.
What's your normal work schedule
like? How do you mean? Like what time?
So you worked today. So did you work yesterday? Did you work?
No.
Okay.
Not yesterday. We did work Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
So generally speaking, it only matters if it's raining when we would be going into work.
Okay.
That's what stops us from going in, and then we don't go in at all. If it's not raining when we go in, we work until it starts raining, and if it doesn't ever start raining real bad, we just continue to work through it.
Gotcha.
Like, obviously, there are some things we can't do when it's wet, like gluing and stuff like that, but for the most part, we find other stuff to do in that time.
Yeah. So Wednesday, did you know you weren't going to work?
So it was kind of 50-50.
Okay.
I didn't really know ahead of time. I knew that day.
Yeah.
When I got up and went out to go to work and it was pouring.
Did somebody call you or text you, or how do you know?
So it really is just as simple as if you look outside, when you go to leave for work around 7-ish, don't go out the door.
It's like an honor system? What if it's not raining on the north side?
I don't know. I mean, my boss lives on the same side of town as me, so I get lucky in that regard.
You don't like shoot a text like, hey, are we working today? Or
if I'm unsure, yeah. But not usually. I've been working there for, like I said, a year now. We've had enough rain days that I've kind of gotten, what days we go in and whatnot.
Sure.
Sometimes I'm wrong and I get called in and like, hey Steve, what's up? You coming in today, bud? Didn't know we were. I'll be in a minute.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's pretty telltale.
Yeah. So let me back this up.
Yep.
Your typical work day is 7:30 to 3:30.
Roughly.
Right. Monday, Tuesday you worked. And obviously you're here, right? I know we gave you a ride here and everything, but you're willing to talk to us. We're here because we're trying to figure out where Kiersten is, right? And we're being told that her mom, maybe a brother. Is there a Frankie? Does that sound right? Or Trevor or Frankie? I don't know. Her mom, a brother, and then you were three people that have talked to her maybe in the last week. I had a conversation with her. Is that fair to say?
I believe Andrew. Andrew is her brother. I know she has another one, but I never remember his name.
There is an Andrew. A twin?
I believe so.
Yes. Okay. So, brothers, mom, and you, because it sounds like she doesn't have a lot of friends.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
She doesn't exactly mention her friends to me.
Okay. Maybe we'll back up a little bit more. I know you have a child with her. Are you currently dating her?
No.
Okay. Were you ever dating her?
Yes.
When did that kind of start and when did that end?
So, 2021, I dated her from end of March, beginning of April, somewhere in there. Not 100%. Until like the beginning of June, I want to say.
Okay.
I mentioned this to them on the way here. My sense of time is all over the place.
Sure. Especially as more time passes, it gets kind of, I get it.
So, that summer, go there.
Summer of 22. Summer of 21, okay. And then?
We continued to stay friends. She wanted more. I was okay with that. I was not okay with dating her and all of that entails.
What does that mean?
I did not want commitment in a committed relationship.
Okay.
She did. We kind of established that wasn't going to happen, even though she still brings it up pretty regularly that she wants more.
Okay.
But I have to turn her down every time. I'm not interested. I don't have any kind of together about my life,
okay.
And I'm trying to fix that.
Okay. So when you were dating her on and off, hanging out, you were cool with it. How long did that kind of continue?
So that has actually continued up to, I want to say present day, but obviously circumstances as they are.
What does that mean?
With her missing, I mean.
Oh, I mean, there's a chance she could just be like out with a friend or something, right?
I hope.
Yeah.
I really do hope. I don't know what friend she would be out with that she wouldn't have told her mom about, but I really do hope that's all it is.
Okay. So kind of leading up to present day, like as you said.
Right.
Is there anything out there that you're aware of any goals that she had, anything that she was trying to do that her mom wouldn't be aware of?
I don't believe so. Most of the goals she had either revolved around, getting out of her mom's house or stuff with work, getting a better job.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I won't say anything, but not anything I can say with 100% certainty is still true about that.
Sure.
Because the last update I had on any of her goals was many months ago.
She just doesn't talk to you about them, or?
Basically, she hasn't gotten anywhere with anything. She just got a job not even a month ago, so she hasn't been able to work on anything.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
She's
And
basically
was she in kind of support of your goals? I mean, I know you said you're kind of stuck right now, but are there things you've wanted to do, places you wanted to go? And
not particularly.
I mean, sometimes people, I see your coat, like, was military something that you were interested in?
Yes, very much so. However, a heart condition that I can't do anything about stopped me from being able to enlist.
Sorry about that. What is the heart condition?
I'm not real sure what it is called, but basically, I have an additional blood vessel that shouldn't be there. It isn't really an issue unless I overexert myself, at which point, the way I explain it is basically think asthma, but it's not coming from your lungs, it's coming from your heart.
So what happens when you get to that point?
So my little brother has asthma, so I've gotten to see that. Basically that, I start wheezing really hard. Basically just think of an extreme form of out of shape.
Okay.
It hurts like, all the way up down my side, and then I wheeze real hard.
You able to work through it, or you gotta like pause for it?
It depends. I get shortness of breath sometimes with it. That hits really hard when that happens. But for the most part, I'm able to work through it to a degree.
Okay. What branch of the military were you looking to enlist in?
Navy.
Okay. What?
I wanted to go. So they had a lot of engineering bits with it. My grandpa, he was in the Marines, but he's also an engineer, and that was always something that I was interested in, going to the military and then learning how to do stuff on ships.
Sure.
I'm not too familiar with boats.
They'll teach you though, right?
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. They teach me basically everything I needed to know about two of the things that I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was actually, before I even saw your code, I was going to ask you if you were looking into the military or something like that, because you kind of carry yourself in a way like you're well spoken. You seem to have like some honor about you, and just kind of like I can tell you want to do the right thing and talk to people and try to help us figure this out. Which most people we talk to, they don't want to do that. They look at the police as a bad guy. We're all on the same team. We're just trying to find out what happened to Kiersten. If anything, hopefully she's just out with a friend or something and just mad at life or people and just want to unplug for a little bit. But no, I appreciate your honor and your integrity and your character and the way that you kind of carry yourself. And you might not see that right now, but those are good qualities that your son will see at some point. And as fathers, we have to be very, very cognizant of the image we're putting in front of our kids, and we want to make sure we're doing that the right way. So I give you a lot of credit for that. So leading up to, as you put it, you were kind of seeing her off and on, hanging out. When was the last time you saw her in person?
The last time I saw her in person was Sunday night.
Sunday night. And what time was that at?
Like I said, roughly 8:30 to about midnight.
And where were you at?
At her apartment.
Okay.
Her and her mom's apartment.
Okay. And before that, when was the last time you had seen her?
The last week. I believe it was either Thursday or Friday.
Okay. So about a week ago from today?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Where did you see her there?
Also her apartment.
Okay.
We spend more time there as she's not allowed at my house.
Oh, why is that?
CPS. So, as I mentioned before, she had her, what's the word? Custody. She had custody of our child taken away from her. He is placed with my parents at current. So, because of that situation, she is not allowed there directly.
Okay.
And because of things she's done prior.
What do you mean by that?
She had, now, there were no charges pressed or anything, but she had altercations with people. I'm not sure how physical they got, because all the information I got was secondhand. Just altercation was the word used, with a bailiff and a CPS agent, not at the same time, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
I admittedly know very little about it.
What was she in front of a bailiff for?
So the bailiff went to come out to get us to bring us into family court on our son's placement.
What led to that, I guess? Because most people don't end up in family court. Like, what were the circumstances that landed you in family court?
So, or civil court, is there a difference between those two?
It's family court, civil court.
Okay. So, when he was born, the initial plan was to put him up for adoption. She reneged on that and tried to put him with a family that she barely knew at the time. She worked with one of them, but had only been working that job for barely a month at the time.
Okay.
It caused safety concerns that, combined with the fact that while she was in the hospital with him, she spent almost no time with him, didn't feed him, didn't change him or any of that stuff. They took him away. Now, at that point, I was not involved. They had tried to involve me, but I didn't get some of the texts, and then when I did, I was either at work and forgot to respond or what have you. But I was not involved at that point. I did not get involved for about 2 weeks with CPS.
Okay.
And then by that at that point, they had me take a DNA test, and I was not allowed to do anything until that was confirmed.
Okay.
So at that point, we went through a wild ride of a bunch of court dates, basically like roughly about a month and a half apart each for, God, was it almost 4 months?
Okay.
It was just continuous court dates and meetings with CPS and all this other stuff. And he was eventually placed with my parents. She gets visitations once a week.
Is that a set day?
Yes.
What day is that?
Mondays.
Mondays.
I believe she had her last one this past Monday.
You weren't there for that?
No, I was at work.
Okay. So who would have supervised that?
I'm not sure. There are supervisors there because of why he was taken away from her. They have supervisors there to ensure his care. CPS, and I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% familiar. I believe a third party hired through CPS or the state or county or what have you supervises those. I'm not 1,000% sure what I want to say group they're from.
Okay. But your mom or dad would take to the meeting, or how does that work out?
So they would pick up from our house someone from either I believe the same third party that would supervise the visits.
Yeah.
Take them over to I believe CPS, like their building, I think is where they do the visits. I'm not 100% sure on that. I see him regularly because I live in the same home, so I don't do the same visits.
Gotcha.
Also, I don't have the same restrictions she does.
Do you have any restrictions?
Yes, I do have restrictions. My restrictions are I'm not allowed to be the only one there to take care of him.
Why did they put that on you?
Because I was not there for the first bit, and they couldn't legally hand his custody to me after taking it from one parent.
Okay.
Is the reason they gave me. The other reason is because when this started, I was not mentally ready to take care of a child. I can. I've been doing so, obviously not alone. I don't think I could do it alone. But I have been doing my best, and when I'm there, trying to help with him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it must be hard because you thought that you agreed on an adoption at first, and then you were probably preparing for that, right? And that was something that is hard enough as a parent to agree to an adoption, and in a way, that's a selfless act because you're taking accountability of yourself and whether or not you're ready. And then you make that decision, the hard decision that adoption is, and then you've got to flip it. And that's got to be a hard change. I can't imagine how I would handle that.
So when we were making the decision, because we had that decision made, and she was agreeing to it up until she had the baby and was in the hospital with him. So that was a flip, because I had already mentally prepared myself, like, I'm going to see this child one time, and then he is going to go into the adoption system, and I'm never going to see him again.
Yeah.
And then I get that flipped up on its head, and I'm now not only living in the same home, but, my parents are taking care of him basically as their own because of the situation.
I'd be kind of pissed.
A little bit.
Because you're preparing it. Were you mad?
For a little while, yeah. I mean, I was more stressed out than I was mad.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Because I wasn't ready for that.
Sure.
And then the whole court thing that went with it was also not something I was ready for.
Well, and I can only imagine what happens with you and Kiersten then too, because she's like, well, no, I want the kid, and you're like, well, I thought we were giving him to adoption, and then there's got to be.
Well, there was.
Yeah,
there was a lot of. I admit, not my proudest moment. There was a lot of yelling when I found out that she not only turned down the adoption, which was something we had said, but then after that tried to give him our child to someone I didn't know and that she barely knew.
Sure.
There was a fair bit of yelling.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Was she ever somebody that would get physical?
Not excessively so, but like a couple of punches and a kick here and there, sure. But never anything to the point where like I was scared for mine or anyone else's safety or well-being.
I mean, would there ever be times where you would kind of get upset and defend yourself, and maybe she'd end up with a bruise or something?
I would restrain her if she got super upset and started like hitting and kicking.
What does that look like when you restrain her?
Generally, it's me like grabbing her arms and like trying to keep her feet on the ground.
Yeah.
So stepping on her feet or grappling legs with legs and just holding her in place.
Gotcha.
It usually didn't end up with her on the ground or bed or wherever, but it usually worked.
Sure. Just until she calms down or something.
Until she stopped trying to hit, yeah.
When was the last time you had to do that?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
A couple months at least.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine why that would be hard. Kind of toxic to deal with and kind of work through. So you haven't seen her since Sunday then, between that 8:30 and that 12:30?
Ish.
What were you guys doing that night?
She wanted to spend time with me.
Okay.
She does. I don't know. I honestly have stopped trying to figure out what her reasons for doing what she does is.
What does spend time with me mean? Like, what?
She just wants me to be there, talk to her, do whatever. She's a very physical person. She wants to cuddle. She wants to have sex, which is something I do not particularly want to do with her.
Why is that?
We already have one kid. I can't handle a second one.
Okay.
She thought she was pregnant. Recently, that was last Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. I made her make sure. I made her, promise me she was going to get an appointment to find out for sure. That appointment she was supposed to make this week. And she had called, and they were supposed to call her back, and I never heard anything after that.
Okay. And did she take a home pregnancy test or anything? What did that show?
Well, the first one said negative.
Okay.
No. But she was late for her period cycle, so she wanted to make sure.
Okay. Okay. How many days late was she?
I believe at that point it was 2.
Okay. Is that normal for her to be?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
She doesn't usually tell me when she's on it. I just have to find out the hard way when she starts screaming at me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I can understand what you're saying. So on Sunday, were there any conversations about the plan with the pregnancy, or what if it's true? Was there any plans on what if this is?
Basically, I was not willing to have that conversation until I knew for sure.
And how did that make her feel?
She was not. She basically said that's fine, but she wants to keep it.
Yeah.
I said, we're not keeping it. It's not happening. We tried that with this one, and she tried that with our current son, and that did not end well, and I was not going to put a second child through it.
Okay. What does that mean? Like, what? I'm not going to put a second child through it. Like, what does that mean?
So, was in the custody of a foster home.
Yeah.
Not a individual home, but like one of the, what do you call those? Not an orphanage. I think it is just a foster home.
Sure.
It's just she ran this lady who ran a foster home down at up in Milton. Had him in custody him in her custody for like 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and stressed everybody out. Visitations with him for both Kiersten and her family and me and my family were less difficult for us, but still not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted him there with us, and that made that very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So it was a stressful situation that I did not want to repeat of.
Gotcha.
Because if she fights it, like if she fights, him being or another child being adopted, and this goes through again, because she's gonna fight it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do that again.
Fair enough. So when you guys hung out on Sunday, how did you agree to hang out? Did you talk on the phone to her? Did you text with her? What number do you text with her on? Do you know her phone number?
I don't know it off the top of my head.
What is her contact in your phone? Do you know the name?
Bitch.
Okay. Spelled just like her name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
I've seen worse. Don't worry about it. And so Sunday, when she wanted you to come over like 8:30, you drove your car over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you ever drive any other vehicles? Or is that's what kind of car do you have? I wasn't out there.
2009 Chevy Malibu, black.
Black. Okay. And so you went over there. Did she call you? Did she text you?
Both.
Both of them?
I believe I called her when I was on my way to let her know I was on my way, but she
Okay.
mostly texted.
Okay. And is that still saved in your phone, the contact that you had on Sunday?
Mm-hmm. No.
Do you have any contacts with her saved in the phone?
Yes. Well, they're not saved as her. So I save contacts for everybody who contacts me that I know of. Obviously, there are telemarketers too that text my phone, but basically every number that isn't saved under a name is one of the messaging apps she uses, and is from her.
What messaging app does she use?
All of them. Every single one that she can find. There are, and I'm not exaggerating when I say well over 100 different phone numbers that she has texted me from over the years.
Why does she do that?
Because I get angry and I block her and don't want to talk to her, and she doesn't understand that.
Yeah. So you currently blocked her number, this number?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we have your phone here. You said that we're fine to look at that and just look at, just because we're here and sometimes we just want to make sure we're doing things the right way, just like I read you the form. Are you willing to go over a form just so we can say that you're recorded saying that we can have permission to look at your phone and verify what you're saying? Is that something we can have you sign to confirm that? Okay. So it's just a consent to search form, and we'll just make sure we do this the right way. Kind of like you looked into the military, they have rules, right? We have rules, we just got to make sure we're doing everything according to those rules. So, how do you spell your first name?
Logan.
Do you have a middle initial?
I do. M.
And
Barclay. Barclay.
And what's your birthday?
3/16/01.
Perfect. So I, Logan M. Barclay, have been informed of my constitutional right not to have a search made without a search warrant, and of my right to refuse the consent to such search hereby authorized. We'll just put the Janesville Police Department detectives who identify themselves as officers of the Janesville Police Department to conduct a complete search of my cell phone. What kind of phone do you have?
A iPhone, I believe it's an 11S.
What color is that?
Red. With also a red case.
Red case, okay.
Red or clear.
Is there a passcode if it goes off or locks?
Yes.
What's that passcode? So it's a 4-digit?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to back up here a little bit. Who have identified themselves as police officers for the Janesville Police Department to conduct a complete search of my cell phone, described as an iPhone 11s, red in color with a red case, passcode. These officers are authorized by me to photograph, collect, or take any materials or other property which I deem necessary. The written permission is being given to me by the above-named police officers voluntarily without any threats or promises of any kind. I'm just going to write Schoonover, because that's me, and Beshin. That's Tom over there. After hearing that, are you willing to let us look at your phone? Okay, I'll just have you sign there for me, please. Thank you. I know it's a lot of red tape, but
I understand.
yeah, protocol, right?
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I sign this as a witness. Okay, so the conversations and all the phone numbers that you're getting, the different numbers are all coming from her. From like, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but like I know of a text app like Text Now, right?
I'm sure she
probably uses that.
Probably one of them is. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not sure. I didn't know so many text apps existed. But obviously there aren't all of them still on there. But there are a lot.
Yeah.
More than enough to get the point across.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that we know on the job that we do. Like, if somebody can find out a way to get a free number through Wi-Fi, they will. Yeah. And there's a ton of different ways out there, so that makes sense. So she's getting a hold of you.
One other thing.
Yes, go ahead.
There is a contact if you go into the phone, the actual call section.
Okay.
It's what is it? No caller ID. I believe you can't call it back. There's I think it's a 3-digit thing you put in before someone's phone number, and it gets through even if you're blocked.
Okay.
She uses that often when she calls me. When she texts me, it's on messaging apps. However, when she calls me, it's always through that.
Okay. And she's always calling on your phone. Like, she's to get a hold of you. You don't have a different number, or what? And what's your phone number? Okay. Who's your provider?
AT&T.
Is that your account or mom, dad's, or
Parents?
Okay. Does she ever get a hold of your mom or dad, or?
She's technically not supposed to get a hold of my family members.
Yeah.
My parents specifically. Any contact she has with them is supposed to be indirect through a notebook, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only.
Gotcha.
She has tried to get a hold of my mother. I don't know how many times. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head when my mom said it was.
Yeah.
But she's not supposed to.
Okay.
It's a simple answer.
Gotcha. And her phone, do you know what kind of phone she has?
Also an iPhone. I'm not sure what specific iPhone, but
Okay.
It is an iPhone.
Okay. Do you ever use like a GPS location with her, like Find My Friend or like 360 or anything like that?
No.
Okay. What color phone is hers? Do you know the case or what it looks
The
like?
case is weird. It's multicolored with glitter.
Okay.
I believe purplish mostly.
Okay.
Though I don't pay as much attention to it as she would.
Okay. So on Sunday, and I keep backing up because Sunday you were at her house at 8:30 till 12:30.
Roughly.
You drove there. Did she ever get in your car? Did you guys go get food? Did you go drive around anywhere?
We went for a walk. We did go for a drive, but we talked and then we went for a walk when we got back to continue our conversation because I don't have a lot of gas.
Okay. So did she get in your car there though?
Yes.
Okay. Did you talk to her on the phone after that conversation? Like after you left at 12:30 that night, did you ever
Yes.
talk to her? Okay. When did you talk to her next on the phone?
Tuesday night when I was supposed to be going over there to talk to her, I had to tell her that I was not able to.
Okay.
She was less than thrilled.
And why did you decide not to go over there?
Hail.
Okay.
When it started hailing, I decided to wait, and when it took half an hour for it to stop. I didn't really want to go anywhere when it was still pouring down rain after it had just hailed.
Okay. Did you leave your house at all?
Yes.
Okay. How far did you get?
So I went over to my friend Nick and Sarah's. It's 7-minute drive without the road construction that's there.
Yeah. Where do they live?
So they live over, where Academy is. It's real close to here.
Yeah.
They live over there.
Okay. What's Nick and Sarah's name?
Last
name.
So they're not to get married or anything, and Nick is not his legal name. Put it that way. Sarah, I believe, is.
Okay.
I don't know Nick's off the top of my head.
They're good friends of yours, though?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Nick's legal name is Lane, but he hates it when people call him that, so I just call him Nick like everybody else.
Okay. What address do they live on Academy?
I don't know the address number off the top of my head, but if you go over to the Dollar Tree over here, it's the house on Academy right across the street from.
So if you're driving down Court Street and you get to the Dollar Tree, you go right on Academy?
You go right on Academy,
Yep.
And then it is the house. The is theirs.
Is it on the right-hand side or the left-hand side?
Left hand if you're
Okay.
going from the Dollar Tree.
Okay. So Sarah and Nick would be able to tell me that you were at their house on Tuesday. How long were you there?
Hour and a half, maybe?
Did Kiersten show up there at all? Okay. What time do you think you were there?
10:30-ish to midnight, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a little after 10:30. I think I got there before 11, but it wouldn't have been by much.
How far is it from Nick and Sarah's to Kiersten's?
Good question.
So I guess I'm trying to think, if you made it that far, it's probably about the same drive.
Oh, no. So I live off of Rockport Park.
Yeah.
So off of Afton Road. There's this 5 to 7 minute drive, depending on traffic. Normally, without the road construction, that maybe I have to go through Court Street. But even then, it's still only a 7-minute drive. Her house is roughly a 15-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
Now, to be completely honest, the only reason I went over there instead of to her house after I, had decided that I was fine with driving, is because I knew they would still be up and that they didn't have work in the morning.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't sure on her account because she had said she had gotten a new job and I didn't want to, keep her up if she was going to go to that.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good. So, what did she say to you when you said you couldn't or weren't going to come in the hail to pick her up?
Not to pick her up, just to go over there and spend time with her.
Oh, okay.
Same thing we did on Sunday, basically. She begged me, for lack of a better word, please, I still want you to come over, yada, yada, yada. Basically, all things to that effect.
Yeah.
I told her no, repeatedly, and then hung up the phone.
Okay.
And then blocked it because she was going to call me repeatedly.
Gotcha. And then did you talk to her after that? Wednesday at all?
No.
Is that normal for her not to get a hold of you again?
Occasionally, she goes a few days at a time without. Honestly, if she hadn't gotten hold of me today, I was probably going to try to get a hold of her. Because 2 days is rough. 2 days is about the longest she's ever managed to go without me, begging her to not call me for a few days.
Sure. In your time talking to her, and I guess in your time knowing her, has she ever been somebody that has talked about her?
To be honest, not that I can recall. I can't think of any time, especially not recently.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
Sometimes her mom had a concern for some depression stuff that she'd been struggling with. Is that something you're aware of?
Yes.
Is she somebody that deals with cutting issues, stuff?
That, to my knowledge, she has not struggled with. I know she struggles with depression quite a bit. That has been a very difficult and touchy thing to get around, navigate. But those are not things that I have experienced with her. With her. So,
and if there's any other friends, you can't think of anybody else that she would contact, or
I know names of a couple of her friends, and honestly, even saying that's a fetch, like a stretch. She has a friend named Maddie. That's the only name I have that I can think of off the top of my head. And I do not have a phone number. I've never met her.
Okay. Any idea where she lives? Anything like that?
I have. The only thing I have heard is secondhand information about conversations her and Kiersten have had, and honestly, even that's still, I guess, I haven't heard anything about that basically since she was born.
Okay.
She stopped talking about her friends to me, and basically it was all about me spending more time with her, me trying to help her get back, and her getting herself and whatnot. It was all about either me and her or her and Jason. And basically that's been 90% of our conversations since. It's led to more than a few arguments.
I can imagine, yeah. What is the longest she's ever gone without talking to you? I know you said 2 days is not normal, but...
Yeah, so the longest she's ever gone without talking to me, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Okay. What were the circumstances then?
I'm not 1,000% sure. I know for part of that I had asked her not to, but there was a time after that where she just continued not to, and I did not proc it because I was enjoying my peace and quiet, to be completely honest.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of your frustration and stress kind of comes at the hands of her ups and downs. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it... I'm trying to figure out where you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried about her, that you think something's wrong, or?
So, yes, because obviously with her not having gone home, that's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Her not having contacted me when she's not home is not normal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very worried about where she is, what she's doing. And I'm more than a little worried about her either doing something really bad or something happened to her.
Why would you be worried about that?
So there was an incident. To be honest, I'm not 1,000% sure how long ago. I guess now he's chief of police, Chad. He's my neighbor.
Okay.
So he came outside to her kicking my car, apparently. Now, I was told about this later. I was not there. I did not see it, so details are not something I can give on that. But that was something that happened.
When was that?
I'm not 1,000% sure.
A year ago?
It wasn't that long. So, actually, it might be bordering on a year now. It was. So she was still pregnant. So this was over 8 months ago. It might be approaching a year now.
So I guess walk me through that.
I was refusing to talk to her at the time,
and
she was adamant that I talk to her. And so she had asked her mother to come over, or to take her over to my house. Apparently she believed I had either taken something from her or she had left something in my car or what have you. I'm not 100% sure. She had ended up finding whatever it was the next day. But she had come over very angry, and kicked my car when she couldn't get me outside.
Okay. Sometimes I don't ask the questions the right way, I guess, and I'm a little confused. What about that scenario would make you be worried about her?
Worried about which part?
So I guess you said you were worried something might happen to her.
Yes.
So
with her being missing this long without a vehicle, I don't know what else she could be up. What else? I'm going to restart because I don't really know how to phrase this very well. She doesn't have a vehicle. She is not one to not contact people. And I'm assuming her mother hasn't been able to get a hold of her. Correct? Am I correct?
Yeah, nobody knows where she is right
now. Also, not something that's normal for her. All of these things combined, one of them, sure, but all of them, it's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
That has me concerned for her safety because I can think of very few things that would keep her from doing any of those.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not exactly an optimist.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly creative. So my thoughts and, my ideas of what could have happened are limited to basically what I've seen on TV, which is almost never a good thing, and what very little I have experience with.
So we all know her, right?
Right.
You probably know her better than her mom, to be honest with you. If you had to guess, where is she right now? Because you're going to have a better guess than we are.
Mm-hmm. So, normally my best guesses as to where she would be, and like I said, especially because she doesn't have a vehicle of her own, would be either with her mother or at work. And obviously those two are out, or if you guys aren't, this wouldn't be the situation.
You wouldn't be here if that
right.
was right.
So, she doesn't have any close friends that are in town that I'm aware of.
So sometimes we got to disengage our brain and come up with the first answer that we think of. So we do this all the time. It's actually kind of interesting. Just kind of like stare at your Gatorade bottle, right at the orange cap. Don't think about anything. Do you remember the first dog you ever owned?
Kane.
What name was Kane? What kind of dog was he?
Golden Retriever.
All right, now gut reaction. Look at your Gatorade bottle. Gut reaction. What happened to Kiersten?
She got lost. It's the best I can say. She might have been walking home, but I don't know what would have happened beyond that.
Kind of keep focusing on your Gatorade bottle. Did you ever have a cat?
Yes.
What was the cat's name?
Lots. My first one was Pris.
Okay. Pris. What kind of cat was Pris? What color?
Black.
Okay. And if she was walking home, would something have happened to her, you think?
Maybe.
Where would we go to find her if she was walking home?
Probably. Let's see. If she was walking home, she probably would have taken the route she knows best. It's probably main roads.
Okay. And where would she be coming from?
This would have been the Domino's over on Court Street, which is where she works.
Okay. What would be main roads that she'd take?
The main route, probably. It's a good question. I've never had her. I've never talked to her about what route she would take if she walked home. I've never had her walk home. She's always obsessed with me giving her rides.
Okay. So that's helpful, right? So your first thought is maybe she went for a walk. She got lost, right? Sometimes we just gotta disengage. We overthink stuff a little bit. Gut reaction. Do you think she's alive?
I hope so.
Gut reaction. Do you think she's alive?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you think that?
To be honest, she's not a super trusting person. As far as I've seen, she doesn't trust strangers all that much.
Okay.
And her first instinct is to run when things get uncomfortable for her.
Okay.
So if something were to start happening, she would immediately just run.
Okay. Has she done that before with you? Like if she's uncomfortable, she takes off running?
She doesn't usually run from me. I try to take post neutrality on basically everything.
Has she ever run from you?
No.
Okay.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Is there anything that you remember about, so you said walks. She walks a lot? She goes on walks?
So generally, if she does go on a walk, it's either to clear her head or to get somewhere.
Okay. Is there a place that she kind of goes on a walk more than once that you're aware of? Kind of like her favorite route? She do like walk along sidewalks, parts of the city she likes.
If she goes on a walk, from her house. It's usually a very short one. It's usually around a block, most like a 2 to 3 block radius.
Okay.
It's very rare that she goes that far out, though. It's usually just around that block with the what else is over there? Those apartment buildings.
Yeah.
The whole block of them that she lives on. I know there's a bank across the street, but that whole block that she lives on.
Okay. She kind of stays in that area?
As much as I've seen and heard, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And when she goes on these walks, she usually prepare for them? Like, I mean,
she wears shorts when it's raining. I don't know how much preparing she does.
Is that normal that she wears shorts when it's raining? What else, like
shorts and a hoodie.
Okay.
Just kind of whatever she feels like throwing on.
Okay.
Usually when it's warm and raining, shorts or sweatpants or whatever she feels comfortable in and is changed into after work.
Gotcha. Do you know her work schedule?
She told me what it was for her first week, but I don't know it.
Like you don't know what she worked this week?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what she worked this week, and to be honest, she was talking about having gotten a new job since Domino's.
Okay.
She mentioned that I think she had an interview, or that she started on Monday or something. I don't remember where it was at. I just remember she said it was another third-party company. I think out of Target, maybe.
Okay.
So she had previously worked for OSL out of Walmart, so that tech area in the back. She was talking about something like that at Target, I believe.
She likes working with cell phones and tech and stuff.
I don't think so. I think it just pays what's best for her.
Okay.
She's not super into tech at all. She doesn't own a computer. She doesn't even have a TV in her room, I don't think.
Okay. Are you into tech? I mean, you're like an engineer mind, like that's what you like to do?
I like building physical things. Tech is not my wheelhouse.
Okay.
I like gaming a lot. So I have a gaming computer. I have an Xbox. I have a lot of tech, but would I say I'm particularly adept with it? No.
Gotcha. Okay. So continuing our theme here, so the Tuesday night, right? You go to Nick and Sarah's house,
correct?
Till 10:30 at midnight, and then where do you go after midnight?
Home.
And then at home, you get home a little after midnight. 5-7 minutes, whatever the drive is.
Right.
Park your car in the driveway, and then
not in the driveway. On the road.
On the road. Park your car on the road. You're the only one that goes into the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody else is with you. Okay. And then you're in the house all day Wednesday because you didn't go to work.
Correct.
Did you leave Wednesday at any point?
I don't think so. If I did, it was to get my little sister from school.
Okay.
I don't remember.
What time would that have been at?
Around 6-ish.
PM?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were at home all day?
Yeah.
All right. Where does your sister go to school? Parker. So you would have left around 6 and then come back and got her?
So we would have been home before 6:30.
Okay.
It's roughly a 7-ish minute drive.
Yeah. So Parker and back, you're talking 15, 20 minutes tops if you gotta wait. All right.
Yeah.
So you're back before dark though?
Easily
before dark. Then you're at home. Spend the night there. You never left. Thursday, today.
Went to work.
What time?
I left a little bit before 7:20, around 7:10.
Okay. And then you got home at
2:30, maybe.
2:30. Okay. Notice anything when you got home? Okay.
Nothing out of the usual.
She never got a hold of you at any point in that time. So I remember, I want to circle back on this, is you said she always wears like shorts in the rain or something like that. Do you remember what she was wearing Sunday night last time you saw her?
Sweatpants or tights, and usually a band T-shirt and a hoodie.
Okay. What kind of band T-shirts does she have?
Punk rock mostly. It's a lot of Green Day, Wayland. She's a massive Wayland fan.
Okay. And then what kind of hoodies does she normally wear?
Usually a Wayland hoodie.
Okay. What color?
Black.
Black ones. Now, when you say hoodie, is that like a zip-up hoodie? Okay. So zip-up black hoodies. How many different kinds does she have of those?
I don't know how many of them are Wayland, but she's got a decent collection of zip-up black hoodies. 8 that are just on a rack next to her door. I don't know how many in her closet and whatnot, but she got a fair number of them.
Sure. So when you're from Sunday until today, right? You had contact with her on Tuesday.
And
She's met, and Monday and Tuesday. She's mad that you're not coming over to Nick and Sarah's. Is this a text or a phone call conversation where you guys are planning on going
Mix
back?
of both.
Mix of both. Nick and Sarah, were they around for that, to hear that at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that happened before I got over to them.
And she never bothered you while you were over there?
No.
Okay.
I had my phone turned off anyways, so even if she tried, we went over to drink.
Okay.
So wasn't.
Is she a drinker?
No.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
Smoke weed?
She
Does any
doesn't.
drugs, pills?
She doesn't do any of that stuff. As far as I'm aware, I know she has medications, but it's not drug related.
So you were drinking with Nick and Sarah. Were you guys smoking a little bit or anything like that?
Nick's the only one of us that smokes anything other than tobacco.
Okay.
But we all smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Well,
Did you done?
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I still smoke pipe tobacco, but it's not nearly as frequently anymore.
It can be a hard thing to pop off.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just kind of summarizing here. Your best guess is she wanted to walk, got lost.
That's my best guess, and I can't think of anything else that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. And the last time she would have been in your car would have been on Sunday. Do you think she would have left anything in your car at all?
I don't think so. She's usually pretty concise. She's got her phone in her pocket, her purse, if she has it with her at all, on her shoulder. And
what kind of purse does she carry?
I don't know what brand it is. It's like a lattice work. It's got tape around the. Actually, that might be her old one. I try not to pay attention to it.
How big is it?
It's not terribly huge.
Okay.
About that big.
She ever keep her phone in her purse?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But usually that's only when she's in stores and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's usually in her pocket.
So you had mentioned she's kind of got an interesting defense mechanism where she turns and runs if she's upset with people.
She screams and then turns and runs if she's upset with someone she knows.
Okay. And you're saying she's never done that to you?
She screamed at me, but never run, no.
She's never turned around.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I thought earlier when we were talking at K&W, there were some messages in your phone, and you said that she ran and tripped and fell, she was running from.
Yeah. So she's never run from me directly, is what I meant. That was what you were asking, yes.
I meant run in general. You made it seem like she turns and runs from people when they're upset.
My apologies. I meant directly from me to my knowledge that she has never run. She has, in fact, run with me, in a race.
That's not what I meant.
I'm aware. But she's also run from other things while with me, yes. Mm-hmm. To my knowledge, it was not from anything I did. But yes, she has run.
Okay.
What did she run from that day? Because that was a recent message that was in your phone. And
right.
You were saying, hey, you ran from me or something like that.
Right. Like I said, so back when we were at K&W, she had tripped and just kind of took off. I don't know if she saw something and got scared because it was dark or what. I'm not real sure. That's why it was kind of like a, you ran from me, what was that about kind of deal.
So just totally randomly, out of nowhere, she just takes off.
So we were walking, and she, like, I think she tripped either on her own shoe or on a crack in the sidewalk, and yeah. I didn't see anything around when I looked, but admittedly I ran after her, then looked around. So
we've been doing this a long time. Collectively, I'm not going to tell you how many years. And typically when we have concerns about people's whereabouts, we bring people in and we start asking some questions, right? We are going to start with people that are closest to her and then kind of like do the tertiary move out and kind of have more.
Right.
So by the time you have to understand this, right? And we've got you in a different position that you're not familiar with. By the time we're here talking with you directly, we probably know a little bit more than what you're aware that we know, right? So when I ask you, did you go to her house on Tuesday? There's a specific reason why I might ask you that, knowing that there's ways for us to check in on that.
correct.
Okay. So when I am finding out and you are telling me you didn't, but I know that you did, how am I supposed to gauge the rest of the things that you're telling me when I know that direct comment is not accurate? You know what I mean? So here, I'm trying to put things together because we all want what's best for Kiersten, right?
Right.
We all understand. I've had some crazy girlfriends too, right? And there's some things that I have done that I'm not proud of when I'm upset, right? And I don't always want people to kind of know that. Okay. That being said, we can't find a young girl, right? You're probably the last person who have talked with her, and we're really relying on your honesty right now, Logan. And I'm going to be fair with you and say that 50% of what you just told me was bullshit. Okay? And I say that giving you full understanding. Dude, you've had a hard life. But I can tell you're a guy, you're a man of integrity. I can tell the way you talk, you're proud and you want to do what's right. Okay? And I get it, like, probably not everything you said to her, you're proud of the way you said it, and there's regret in the way you said some things. But you know what we can do with phones, right? There's no secrets. And this is where I'm looking at you right now, and I'm saying to you, we know some things. We know where you were. We know what you've said to her, and we know where she is. Okay? So this is very important for you right now to be honest with us. Because the things that we know aren't lining up with what you're telling us. And how does that make me look? How can I go to my boss and how can I say, you know what? Logan is being 100% honest with me. When I can't prove that. I can't prove that by the phones. I can't prove that by your GPS on your phone where it's pinging. I can't prove that her GPS is next to your GPS. You see what I'm saying? And was Sunday the last time you saw her?
No.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her?
Tuesday evening.
Tuesday evening. And where was that at?
I had taken her out to a trail. We went down the trail, talked for a while, and went back to the car.
Which trail is this?
There's a trailhead across the street from my house.
Oh, the one right on Afton.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a dirt trail that I had not gotten to go down very far, and I wanted to see more of it. We had gone there on Sunday as well, and I wanted to go further down this time because I didn't get to see much of it. She was not the happiest that we were trying to go down it in the rain, which is fair.
Was that Sunday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
So we went down it on a Sunday night. I thought the lightning would be kind of cool to see over the water in some of the places where you could see the water because it goes right up against the river. And she didn't seem afraid of the lightning to me, so I took her down it. We walked back to the car though. I'll run for part of it, but it was as much a race as it was anything else. I ran out of breath and had to stop.
Okay. So Tuesday, what time was that at?
Between 9:30 and 10-ish, I want to say.
9:30 and 10. And then where did you go from there?
I drove her back home. I left immediately thereafter. Like, I walked her up to the house, or up to her apartment and left.
Okay. And would she have been at your house at all without your parents knowing?
There were cameras on our front porch and everything, so no.
Okay. You know as well as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who knows where their cameras are in their house know how to get people around them.
I would not take her in the house.
Okay.
I would get in astronomical amount of trouble that I don't need from that.
So when did you talk to her last time?
Last would have been thereabouts.
This is
around Tuesday. Tuesday night.
Yep.
Around the time that I had dropped her off. I talked to her in person. Over the phone, the last time I talked to her was when I had picked her up, I believe. I don't think we sent any more texts after I had picked her up.
And what did you talk about in the rain?
Child that she thought she was having.
And what did she say?
She said she wanted to keep it, and I got...
You can say it.
I got angry.
Yeah.
I didn't want to keep it, and we had an argument about her keeping it, and I ended the argument by saying, this conversation is done. It's going nowhere. I don't want to have it. You can't keep it.
Mm-hmm. Or what?
Or I would do it my way, which was forcing her to go get an abortion in Illinois.
Okay. And how would you force her to do that? What if she said no?
Realistically, it was an empty threat. I can't force her to do anything. I don't have a good way, but I really, really wanted her to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And here's where I appreciate your version of honesty coming out, but there's more. Right? Because you're a parent to a young child, right? I'll tell you, I'm a parent to older children, and call it what you want. When you know certain things, you start to see, I know you want to tell me, because you're not meant to carry this. We're all guys here, okay? You were put in an impossible situation. Everything you just told me on how you went through to this point in his life, that's hell. That sucks. Right? People understand that type of stress. And understand what it leads people, and the things that we don't want to talk about, that we don't even want to think we're capable of. Okay? We understand it. But when we know it, and you have this chance right now to be that man of integrity, that man that wanted to be a naval officer, that man that wanted to follow in your grandpa's footsteps, to be like your grandpa who was a Marine, dude, stuff happens. The only thing we can do as men is pick up our integrity where we left it and try to carry forward. We know what happened to Kiersten. But I need you to tell me now. I need you to be that man that I know you are, and to tell me what happened. Because this is your chance. It's in here, and it's going to kill you in here. You're not meant to carry it. But we understand. Man, we've done this.
And good people make mistakes, right? And that's where the burden that he's talking about is because you're a good person.
Yeah.
And the first step to move forward from that is to talk about it, to discuss that. That's the easiest way to get past.
When I went out onto the trail, because it was dark, I had brought a firearm for personal protection. But when we were having our argument, I got really, really angry, and I went to go clear my head, and she chased after me, still talking about it and talking about it. No matter how many times I told her to stop, she wouldn't, and I broke a little. I snapped, screamed at her, took it out, and said, "Stop following me, stop talking about it, please." And I've never fired a firearm before. The only one I owned was a small .22, so, and I didn't mean to. It went off.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
I didn't know what to do. I really didn't mean to, so I left.
And where did she go?
I don't think she went anywhere.
And where was her phone?
In my car.
What did you do with it?
I left it at her house. Dropped it on the ground.
Where at on the ground at our house?
Near the parking area.
Or, I guess help me specifically, because I know
So
those apartments are kind of big.
Back in the parking area, there's there's dumpsters, parking, more parking after a little walkway. I kind of was going up to the door, stopped, and threw it on the ground over by somewhere around the first car dumpster area.
It's like in the actual paved parking lot.
Like it might have bounced into the grass, but I don't know.
So she didn't leave the trail with you then. And then what did you do with the firearm?
It's at home.
Okay. Where do you keep your firearm at home?
Closet on the shelf.
In your room. Okay.
Pulled apart.
You dismantled it? Okay. Did you shoot one time? Just once. Do you know where you hit her? How close was she to you when you shot?
Further than me to that door.
Okay.
When you shot, what happened? What did she do?
She kind of freaked out for a minute. Screamed at me. She asked what was that, and that was it. She kind of dropped to her knee. I walked away.
Was this down by the water? Yeah.
So there's a dirt path, not directly attached, but runs mostly parallel to the actual trail. It was over there.
I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but getting that weight off, it's too much. People snap, right?
Not like
What was she wearing that night?
shorts, hoodie.
Remember what kind of shoes she had on?
I think sandals maybe.
What clothes were you wearing?
Work boots, jeans.
Do you remember which jeans? Are they still dirty or in a pile somewhere?
They're in a hamper.
You remember what brand they were?
Not off the top of my head.
Were you wearing a jacket or a shirt?
Jacket. A green jacket.
Different boots than what you have on, or?
Shoes right now.
Okay.
What time do you think that was? Was the sun still out? Was it pretty dark?
Right before I went over to Nick and Sarah's.
Do you remember sending a text to her at any point since then?
Did you talk with Nick and Sarah about what happened? Talk with anybody about what happened?
I didn't want to get them involved.
How long after sundown do you think that happened?
A couple hours.
A couple hours.
Like,
So when you got to their house at like 10:30, is that accurate timeline?
roughly
Roughly,
10:30,
we got there.
10:40
You went right there from the trail? Or did you go
from
first?
her house.
Oh, right. You went up to the house, phone near the dumpster, and then you went to Nick and Sarah's.
How long after you picked her up from her house do you think you left the trail and went back to her house? Like, how much time do you think passed during that?
I think I left the trail maybe hour 15, hour 20 maybe.
Okay.
Because the hail had stopped around a little before 8.
What are mom and dad going to say? Because we have to go get the gun, obviously, and your clothes. We're going to have a conversation with mom.
I understand.
I think at this point you kind of know
do.
Kiersten did not make it. Okay. She did succumb to her gunshot wound. Where you're describing the shot took place, I don't think she went very far. So, that being said, we will make sure your story is documented the way you told us. Arguments happen. It is what has happened has happened. I do truly mean we are men of integrity, and how we pick ourselves up right now and move forward is the difference that defines us, right? You're not a bad person. You made a bad choice. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you talking to us about it. Despite what was gone on, what happened, you made the right choice sitting here today. Okay?
Yeah, and this will help her family, right? Because they were going to have questions, and this will help give them some peace. It's not going to make it better. It's not going to make everything right, but it at least closes some of the doors and questions that they have, which is important. Doing this a long time, I've talked to a lot of families, and families who haven't had that benefit, and that's horrible for them. So it's huge that you're able to give them a little bit to make it right.
Can I step out for just a second?
Yep.
And I'll be right back with you. Okay.
So Logan, you mentioned you didn't tell anybody, you didn't talk to your parents, you didn't tell anyone what had happened. The messages that were deleted on your phone.
There's an aerial photo of her apartment.
Okay.
She's able to kind of show it. I'll do that right now.
All right, I guess I'm not certain which building is hers. Do you know which building is hers?
Where is...
It doesn't have any numbers on it.
This is the street.
I think this is Holiday.
There.
Does it
Lexington.
say? Oh, I'm sorry, Lexington. Yep.
So I believe that would make this her building. This be the front door. Garbage cans here.
Mm-hmm.
So right
You want to circle?
would have been in here. that area.
Okay.
That's where I would have thrown it.
And the gun that is up on, sits in your bedroom in the closet.
There are 2 closets in my room. The one closest to the door, it should be immediately behind the door.
Okay.
That would be the only thing there.
Unloaded, not
Nope.
together.
No. The spring and the top are off.
Okay. Let me go. I'll give that to them. I'll be right back. Okay. Hey, did you need anything? Anything I can get for you? No. I'll be right back. Okay, just give me 1 second. So we're going to have some people out to the house, not your mom. And, we're going to have some things we need to take care of and all that. As we work through this, we still have a few more questions, and I know that it's hard for you. I can't imagine being where you are right now. But we do have a few more questions just to kind of like help show that you're being honest with us still, right? Like that's what we want to be able to prove is that he's got off to a rocky start, but we knew it, right? Like, and you've been honest thus far. Sunday night, right? You went on this walk before. When you talk about the dirt trail, can you describe from the parking lot how that looks? It would it help if you drew it?
No. So the trailhead, the entrance to the trail.
Do you want to draw it, or you said no? Okay.
So entrance to the trail, train tracks here. We go main trail, grass patch here. Trail is over here.
So you go over the tracks, over the paved trail, grass patch, and then you take a right at that grass patch.
Correct.
And then that dirt trail starts there. And both Sunday and Tuesday, that's the walk you guys took? Okay. Do either one of you vape? No. No. So when you take that turn, you start walking, right? How far down do you think you walked?
I'm not sure.
Sometimes minutes is easier than like distance, right? Like I was walking for about so many minutes. If you can think of distance,
12, 13 minutes maybe.
down. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
And then Tuesday, where did you go outside of that? Where did you?
Sunday was a little bit less.
Okay.
Wasn't quite as far. 9, maybe 10.
Okay. So Sunday when you went, what time was that at?
That would have been a little bit later.
Okay. Did you have your firearm Sunday night? No? Okay. So what time was it Sunday that you were out there again, do you think?
Maybe 11.
At night? Okay. And then Tuesday you went out there, obviously we know it was before the 10:30 time when you went to your friend's house, but what were you talking about Sunday night when you were walking?
So that we were really just, I wanted to see the trail. We were talking about, basically I let her pick any topic she wanted other than what she wanted to talk about.
Which was?
The pregnancy that she thought she had.
Okay. And what was the topic? Do you remember?
I do actually. She kept insisting that if we got back together, she wanted to get a house together, and that she was making enough money that she could get an apartment of her own, and that she wanted to do that with me.
Okay. So was it a good conversation?
Not one I was particularly interested in.
Sure. But better than the other one that you didn't want to talk about. So Sunday when you walked down the trail, you didn't go as far as you did on Tuesday. Did you just turn around, or did you go?
We turned around.
Turn around, and then you came back and left. So then Tuesday, who decided on going for a walk in the rain? Okay, and what was that reason for that?
I wanted to clear my head realistically, walking always does, and there's not any great places other than the trails to do it.
Yeah.
And we had just gone on that trail, so I felt like we both knew it well enough to walk it.
So here's something I know as a gun owner, and I know in your situation. I'm curious to hear how you explain it. Sunday you didn't bring a gun, but you were out later.
So
Tuesday you did.
So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think anything of it on Sunday. I didn't plan on going out there. That was just something I thought of on the fly.
Okay.
I had planned on going out there on Tuesday.
Okay. So what do you need protection from when you're out there?
I don't know. I know people go out on the trails. I don't know. And I know that trail reaches all the way to Beloit and such. I don't know what kind of people are on the trails, especially that late. So caution, mostly. I don't.
What kind of gun is it?
I don't remember the brand off the top of my head. It's about yay big, 22.
Is it one color?
Black.
It's all black?
It's solid black.
Okay. How was the ammunition loaded into it?
There's a magazine,
Okay. Do you know how many can fit in that magazine?
roughly 12, I believe.
Okay. So when you say you have it dismantled, what does that mean?
The spring and top taken apart, magazine and ammunition locked in a little box, separate from it.
And where's the little box?
The ammunition is locked in a little box. It looks like a dictionary.
Okay.
It's on the top shelf of my bookshelf.
Where's the key for that?
It's not a key. It's a combo lock.
Oh, what's the
You
combination
open
to
it.
it?
It's my birthday, 316. It's just a 3.
316? Okay. And then the ammunition and the slide will be in there, you said?
No, just the ammunition and the magazine.
Gotcha. So then on Tuesday, you went further down the trail? Why did you go further down the trail?
It just was time. We were just keep walking.
Okay. And what were you clearing your head from that day?
A conversation we were having, mostly. I wanted to get away from it. She wanted to continue it.
Okay. So you think you went about 12 minutes down the trail that time?
12, 15 tops. I'm not real sure.
And then where did you end up going to? Now I know you said there's a dirt trail and then there was something else you had said.
There was nothing else after that. There's a dirt trail.
And then, but did you go one way or the other off the dirt trail?
Mm-hmm. We stayed on the dirt trail for the most part.
Okay. So where was the shot from? From the trail? Okay.
Pretty close to it, at least.
What does that mean?
I was still on the trail.
Okay. And where would she have been?
I'm pretty sure she was just in the little brush line, off. At the time, it was on my left.
Okay.
You mentioned something about being close to the water.
Yeah, there's so it goes right up along the Rock River on the other side of the tree line.
Okay.
I think that's the Rock River at least.
How close to the river did you get?
Not terribly close. I didn't, like I said.
You said you want to see the lightning on the water?
I never got to that point myself. The lightning had stopped, so I was going back.
Okay. So
Was she closer to the water than you were?
No.
Okay. How did she end up closer to the water than you were?
She went off to see the lightning on the water. I was behind her still at that point. The lightning had stopped for a minute. She wanted to wait. I didn't. I thought it was done because it had been long enough.
kind of explain the next part to me. We know what happened. Obviously, What led from her looking at the lightning in the water?
She was continuing the conversation while she was looking at it. She got really angry and loud about me not wanting to keep it, and I got angry and loud in return. And it just kept escalating.
And did you have the gun in a holster? Was it in a pocket?
Pocket.
Did she know you had it?
I believe so.
Has she seen it before? Okay. And so kind of like as we talk about where she was and where you were, the reason we have those questions is because obviously we know how she was found and where the bullet hit her. I can totally understand your frustration. Where were you aiming when you shot at her?
I wasn't really, just kind of in her direction.
Okay.
Wasn't even supposed to go off. Just wanted her to stop.
So what made you pull your gun out?
Frustration mostly. She wouldn't stop. And like, no matter how many times I asked or told her to, how I asked, she wouldn't.
So what direction was she facing when you pulled the trigger?
Towards me.
Towards you? Sideways, straight on?
She was facing me straight at me.
Okay. Did she see that you had the gun in your hand? And what did she say when she saw the gun?
She started backing up and, what are you doing with that out? Or why do you have that out? Why are you pointing that at me?
And what did you say?
I said, stop talking.
Okay.
Repeatedly.
And did she? What did she say after you said stop talking?
She kept saying that she wanted to keep it and that she wanted to have this conversation, that we needed to have this conversation.
And you kept telling her,
Stop. Don't stop talking about it. Different variations on that.
so in your, obviously you were frustrated, but in your mind, how were you thinking you were stopping the conversation?
I was hoping that she would be afraid enough to stop and listen, and then it would be done with, and I wouldn't, and we'd just be done.
But she didn't stop.
No.
So then you felt like the only way to make her stop was
to pull it out, try to frighten her with it, and I don't know. I got angry, started tensing, and then it went off.
Do you know where the bullet would have hit her? Okay. And I know it was dark. You say you were about from you to that door behind me away, and I would
A
ask.
little ways further, not much further though, maybe a foot or two more.
Okay. Is there a chance you were much closer than that?
Not much, I don't think. My distance, my judgment of distance wasn't great. It was dark. I didn't have a whole lot of measurement, but I don't think I was very far.
Let me ask, when did you get that gun?
Last year.
Last year?
I believe summer.
And how did you come to be in possession of it? Did you buy it? Was it a gift?
I bought it at a gun store between here and Beloit.
Okay. Have you ever shot in that before? You'd never taken it to shoot?
I had never had an opportunity to go to a range with it or anything.
Okay.
It was just, I bought it for personal defense. I admittedly at the time wasn't all that familiar with firearms at all, so I bought the cheapest, smallest caliber I could.
Okay. Have you ever shot other guns? You've never shot
allowed to.
Never shot a handgun before? Never shot a rifle, shotgun?
Never before. It was the first one I'd ever pulled the trigger on.
Why were you not allowed to buy them before?
When I was younger, my parents kept us away from all that kind of stuff. Like they never allowed me to so much as take a safety class for them. I bought it as much for personal protection as to spite my parents.
Did they know you had it? No. So, like, were you familiar with how it works? Like, how to load it? Obviously it's taken apart. You know how to assemble it?
I did figure it out. This one's fairly simple. It's only 3 pieces.
Okay. Does it have a safety?
Yes.
Like a manual safety that you have to move, either like
It's
push in or
on
move
the
up?
end of the slide.
Okay. What do you have to do to engage or disengage it?
It's so it's a little flip lever, but it's so gun, handle, magazine, so slide up here.
Mhm.
It literally is just flip down, flip up.
Okay.
Something that could easily get caught if you're not careful.
Mhm. How often do you carry that with you?
Only if I'm going somewhere dangerous, potentially.
How often is that?
Not.
Okay.
Less than once a month, I'd
Okay.
say.
How often do you go on the trails by your house?
Rarely. Especially the dirt one. I'd never gone on it before. The normal trail, I went on it before, like the paved trail. I'd gone on that before, a couple of times for exercise and to go up to the gas station because it leads right up to there.
Mm-hmm.
But very rarely.
So you only carry it when you're, I think, essentially going somewhere that's dangerous, which you said it's not often, maybe once a month.
Less.
Okay. But that day on Tuesday, you decided to take it. Even though you're going on the trails, they're by your house.
It wasn't somewhere I'm familiar with. I didn't know, and it would be dark, so I didn't know if there would be anyone on it or not, anyone dangerous. I just heard of things happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like attacks or anything, but like just things. I figure worst case scenario, an animal, not a person.
Yeah, but you didn't feel that need on Sunday.
Like I said with Sunday, it wasn't something I planned to go on the trail. I mean, it kind of, I was already in the car, and I kind of decided that after I had gotten her.
So as you basically, you meet with her on Sunday, trying not to talk about the thing you don't want to talk about, but still stuff comes up related to it, right? The relationship that you don't want to have, getting an apartment that you don't want to get, being a family which you don't really want to be a part of, right? Is that fair to say? That stuff all comes up Sunday. And she wants to meet with you on Tuesday. And I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably like, great, she's going to be talking about all the stuff I don't want to talk about. I'm guessing that's in your mind, like.
It was a thought, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's that far of a stretch to think that go back to the same spot on the trail, take the gun with you. When she's talking about the things you don't want to talk about, try and scare her. Like you'd said earlier, you were going to essentially force her to have an abortion. Take the gun with you to try and do that. I don't know that I buy the safety thing, given that it wasn't as late as it was Sunday. You've been there already. You didn't take your gun that day. But I could understand the frustration, all these things building up, all these things that she keeps bringing up, and it goes further and further, too. She's not just not respecting that you don't want to have a relationship, but now she's pregnant again? Now she's planning on getting an apartment, being together, raising a family, having another kid? Frustrated. I'm going to show her.
It wasn't. It was a backup plan. It was never, ever supposed to actually happen.
Sure. I imagine in a perfect world, right, she would just respect what you've already said probably a million times. Right? But unfortunately, she's kind of showing time and time again, she wasn't respecting that. At least your side of it, your take. Is that the real reason you took the gun?
Part of it. Part of it was for protection, but that was also part of it.
And what was your plan? What was the backup plan?
That was it, just to scare her. Pray to God she stopped. There wasn't a plan beyond that. I wanted so badly for it to work, for her to just stop.
Then what? You're in the woods. So she stops in the woods.
Maybe I get her home, postpone it for another day, or longer.
Okay. And I think this is where we're kind of talking about, like, you're getting there, and I get it. You don't want to talk about stuff because it's hard, right? But we know certain things. Just like I said, do you know where she was shot? Do you know what the plan was? Because we can see what would drive somebody as frustrated as you were to have your buttons pushed, to be so disrespected time and time again. You didn't want to have part of your family because you thought he'd be better off with somebody else. And now you've got a plan for, right? And now you have her again, kind of leading you down the same road. We get it. But what I can't wrap my head around is plan B. Was that actually plan A? And the reason I ask you that is probably because we know a little bit, right? We understand some things. Where she was shot, was that part of the plan? The location she was. So when you say things like, I was going to force her to get an abortion, right? Could you have physically forced her? No, we understand that. We get that. But you know what? Subconsciously or in that moment, what are you angry about? What she's talking about, right? So where did you shoot her?
Stomach, maybe chest. That area.
Okay. Why do you say that?
That's what I was thinking about. It's just her general direction and my problem.
Which is what?
Her being pregnant again.
And if you shoot her in the stomach, what does that accomplish?
She's no longer pregnant.
Right. So what we're getting at is we want you to have the opportunity to have your full truth out. You say the gun on Tuesday was plan B. Was it really plan B?
No, not really. I kind of already knew plan A wouldn't work.
When you guys were going down that trail, did you pretty much already have in your head or know it's probably going to end up with me? Essentially, I'm the one who's walking back and she's not going to walk back.
No, that was never part of what I wanted or had planned. Just scare her, make her quiet, stop her talking about it. That was it. Never what happened.
It's tough, and you've got to see it too. It's tough for me necessarily to believe that.
And I understand.
Right?
I do. It was never my plan for her not to come back. Especially after the texts. I know you've seen them.
Mm.
I was angry, but I've never
never wanted to hurt her. Not physically.
So kind of walk me through. Things go bad, right? You end up leaving, you drop the phone off the apartment, you go to your friends, and eventually you go home. I think when we were at K&W, you mentioned you had deleted messages that were on your phone. When did that take place?
The deletion?
Mm-hmm.
After this.
After this. And why did you delete them?
I was scared.
They look bad?
Really bad.
Yeah. What kind of stuff is in that looks bad?
A lot of threats over her not stopping talking about the pregnancy and all that, and her saying she wanted to keep it over and over again.
And what kind of threats?
Physical threats of lots of varieties. I don't remember all of them.
Did you ever threaten to shoot her?
I don't think so.
Did you ever threaten to kill her or kill a baby?
Baby, maybe. But never her. I can think of.
Okay. Did you remember the specifics surrounding that? What exactly was said? Do you know what happened to her purse?
She left it at the house.
At her house? Okay. And the phone you said's back at the apartment or somewhere?
The only other thing I can think of that might have happened is if somebody saw a phone laying on the ground. I don't know. Because it was on the ground.
Yeah, Logan, I'm still struggling and having a pretty tough time. And I think the hardest part for me is, you guys went on this walk, and fairly similar walk, right? Later at night on Sunday, but you didn't take it. And I think that's the hardest part I have is like wrapping my head around taking it then on Tuesday.
I just wanted to scare her with it. That was it.
Do you think you could have scared her with it without it being loaded?
I don't know. I didn't think about it.
Could you have scared her with it without a round in the chamber?
Maybe.
Could you have scared her with the safety on?
Probably.
So why did we decide to take a gun loaded with one in the chamber to scare somebody?
I'm just thinking a real threat was scarier than one that maybe she could see through. I don't know what she knows about them.
And I know you're not super familiar with guns, but can you tell if that gun is loaded or not loaded just by looking at it?
Mm-mm.
So she'd have no idea.
Like, I know if the magazine's in.
Sure.
But
if you look close enough, right? But like in her shoes, it's late at night, it's dark. She may not be familiar with firearms. She's going to see the gun, right? She may not know enough to see if there's a magazine there. Certainly, I can't think of a way that she'd be able to tell instantly, because I can't, if a gun's loaded or not.
I didn't think about any of that before. Just the gun. It was all I had that I could think of that might work.
You understand her hang up, Logan.
I do.
Because the reality is, and you've kind of already said it, in your mind, in that moment, you knew from Sunday's conversation, from previous conversations, what Tuesday's conversation was going to be. And you knew there was really only one way to make your problem go away.
Just wanted to put it off until I was ready. I never thought it would be done for good. I knew well enough
that it wouldn't be. I just wanted her to stop for a few days until I could get my head around it.
But she wasn't going to stop, and she wasn't respecting you.
It didn't matter. I'm used to that.
But what was the one way that you were thinking you could stop this?
Fear is the only thing that's ever worked for me.
Has it, though?
Kind of. I mean,
We as humans, we understand progression. If this doesn't work, then this. If this doesn't work, then this. And it's usually always up. So that's why we're sitting here. And
I've never tried to scare her with anything that big before. It's mostly just imposing.
but you've used fear to try and scare her before.
It's worked.
Okay.
She got a lot, actually. Like, never physical, but the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually enough.
So, kind of an unrelated question. On your phone, there must be like a deleted photos folder or something.
Maybe.
Is there a password for it?
It's usually just my face. You might be able to get into it with the same password as on the phone, but I wouldn't know how to do that.
What is it? What is your phone password again?
6130.
Is there any other like if
There's no other password.
if your Face ID doesn't work, is there any other way to log into your phone?
That password,
Just that 6130.
6130, gets you into the phone. If my face doesn't work, it should get you basically through anything that's directly related to the phone, not with Apple.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions for us right now?
No.
Okay. Anything you need at the moment?
Bathroom, maybe.
Okay. Give me a second. I'll see what I can do. Okay. I'll try and get that to happen sooner rather than later. Okay. All right. We'll step out for a minute. We may pop back in here, but okay. Hey, sorry. Just a quick question. Were those the work boots you were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Logan. We're gonna head downstairs. And we have a process we have to do, so it'll be like the fingerprints. We'll have to take a picture, and a DNA swab and what you do. Okay. Do you want to bring your Gatorade with you? Sure. Okay. I know you were probably searched, but I'm gonna search you again. If you want to just turn your face that way, I'm not gonna put handcuffs on you or anything. You're more than cooperative with you.
Did you have a prison?
Are you wearing underwear, shorts? Underwear. Sorry.
You're right.
Good answer.
Sure.
It's in this pocket here. Gloves and keys. Landscaper, you gotta have lots of gloves, right? Have you separate your feet for me a little bit?
During the interrogation, Logan Barclay ultimately broke down and admitted to shooting Kiersten. He told investigators the two had gotten into an argument while walking along the trail near Rockport Park, an argument that ended in a single fatal gunshot. Detectives later confirmed his admission with physical evidence, including a firearm traced directly to Barclay, purchased months earlier from a local gun shop, and forensic results that linked him to the scene. In the hours after his confession, Barclay was processed and booked in the Rock County Jail, formally charged with first-degree intentional homicide. As detectives continued their work, they built a clear picture of what happened that night and the events that led up to it. Every piece of evidence, from witness interviews to the weapon itself, pointed to one truth: Kiersten's death was not an accident. Months later, Barclay appeared in court, where he entered a guilty plea to the charge. In early 2025, a Rock County judge sentenced him to life in prison, with eligibility for release to extended supervision after 50 years. For Kiersten's loved ones, it marked the end of a long and painful process, one that brought accountability but not closure. Kiersten Hansen was just 22 years old. She was a daughter, a friend, and a mother whose life was full of potential. Those who knew her remember her as someone with a big heart and a gentle spirit, someone who deserved far more time than she was given.